Hi, I'm Nina, and I'm going to be talking about winter, maybe just early winter trend predictions slash like overall themes, what I am really excited about, and what's trending in my world for this winter 2024 into 2025. I have my computer down here, so if there's like weird light or I look down, that's where I have my notes. But let's get into it. I am really excited for this video. I've been kind of jotting things down for the last few months whenever I would like start to see something or notice something, be like, oh, I like that. And then about a week ago, I just had this realization that there's this one overarching theme that kind of connects all of these like specific styling details and trends and just like really kind of encapsulates all of them. And that theme is basically like art people, whether it's artists, a muse, a patron, like even an art professor. The core of that visually to me is thinking about really having kind of an eclectic style that's really rooted in classic pieces. Maybe it's a button-down shirt and jeans, but there's really interesting cufflinks on the button-up shirt, or a really cool earring, or an interesting belt. Just these kind of classic pieces, like almost with a twist, or just with styling moments, or just little pieces that make it feel more eclectic or more unique, or even like pull it in a little bit of like a boho way, even a little bit of an indie sleaze kind of way. And I am just so excited about it. Some of the specific trends is long blazers or like long leather jackets, like a longer leather trench, that kind of thing, in a like 90s kind of way. Maybe it's a slightly more fitted silhouette. I just feel like really long line layers we're gonna start to see more of. It looks like so chic. And then thinking about heels instead of flats. So we have been so into flats. I don't think that flats are like gonna be gone, but I think we're gonna start to see more of a block heel again, especially in the like 2010s kind of like lean way, with kind of a chunky heel and a rounder toe. I can envision an art gallery owner wearing these like Phoebe Philo chunky Celine heels that still feel kind of sleek. There's some really good deals on them on The RealReal, you guys. I have my eye on a gold pair, which is like a little bit out of my comfort zone, but again, the gold is like that little bit extra. But I mean, a block heel pump I feel like is so classic, but leaning towards more of a like sculptural, smooth kind of sleek silhouette of it instead of that super classic silhouette. I think we're gonna start to see more of. Also thinking about shoes, lace-up boots and lace-up shoes in general. We've already seen the like lemme flats and lemme pumps that have the like derby detail, and I know like Zara has already come out with pairs that are inspired by that, but also I just saw Wicked, and so I'm like, lace-up witchy boots, I feel like there can't be no impact from Wicked on lace-up witchy boots. And again, I feel like a lace-up boot with a legging, this is something I mentioned before, in kind of like an old J. Crewy way, also we're gonna start to see more of. And in that vein, tucking pants into boots, which I feel like at its core, it feels very kind of like equestrian. But I think the way that we're gonna see it now, again, the theme of all of this is just like a little bit different. But especially if you have like a kind of wider straight leg, not like a super narrow, but just like a straight leg, or maybe even slightly boot cut jean, and you tuck it into the boot so you have a little bit of like zhuzhing and it feels very effortless. I guess that's another piece of this theme, this like art person. It's like a little bit messy, a little bit undone, but you still have these refined pieces like the button up or the blazer or a trouser, but it's just the way you're wearing it feels very effortless, and you have pieces that kind of like pull those classics in a slightly bohemian indie sleaze kind of direction. So then starting to think about accessories, I feel like classic bags, in terms of, we've been seeing a huge revival of like bowler bags because of the Real Margot, and now so many different brands are spinning off with these different like bowler bag shapes after we've been so into a hobo bag, as well as hard handle bags. I feel like people have been so into the Mombasa bag, but also like the bamboo handle bag, or just any kind of interesting structured bag, whether it's like even having just like a kiss lock purse, which is super classic. I think using these really classic pieces as a base for your outfit, and then thinking about ways to like either individualize them, whether that's through silhouette, fabric, or accessorizing them in a certain way or styling them in a certain way. Like maybe you're tying a sweater around your neck like a scarf, or tying it so the tie is like on one side around your waist. I feel like I've been seeing that recently and just loving it. But that could be a super classic cardigan or just a crew neck, but you just have it tied in a very different way that makes it feel, one, having a sweater wrapped around you just feels, again, more effortless, very chill. But having it tied in a slightly different way, they're like, ooh, is this person creative? What's going on? It's like the hint of creative with the classics that I'm really getting into. And then I've talked about this before, neckwear. I love a scarf. Any kind of scarf, whether it's a big chunky knit scarf, a little skinny like 2000 scarf, even just like a silk scarf. I feel like a scarf also is such a good way to bring a little bit of personality into an outfit. Scarves are so classic, but there's literally such a huge spectrum of like patterns of scarves, textures of scarves, sizes, like shapes, all of these different ways that you can kind of change an outfit with a scarf. Also, kind of in that note, like bonnets, balaclavas worn like as a hood, more of a hood instead of like a full-on tight balaclava. So you have that little like neckwear layering moment. I am also really, really into. The next thing, thinking about jackets, I think we've already been seeing and are going to see even more collarless jackets or stand collar jackets. It gives you so many layering opportunities with one, neckwear or like turtlenecks, different necklines that you want to play with underneath. Also jackets with interesting closures. I've been talking about closures for a minute, but especially like a lobster hook closure on a jacket, or like a loop and a toggle, or like a loop and a knot, or a two-way zipper. It can help a grounded outfit feel just a little bit more interesting, have a little more depth, a little bit more going on, and gives you other ways to like play with what you're wearing by deciding, oh, what buttons am I gonna have done? How much am I gonna have this jacket zipped? That kind of thing. And then a couple more general details and just like things that I like and I think we're gonna see more of is embroidery. So, but just like hand doing embroidery yourself to personalize things. I feel like during COVID, all of the handicrafts got so big, and then I think they've kind of faded a little bit. But I love the idea of like hand embroidering on the cuffs of like a thrifted menswear shirt. I think the embroidery and that kind of thing is another way to really individualize something, whether it's like floral embroidery on a bag, or again, on like the cuffs of something, or even just like embroidering your initials, which is again a super, super classic, I feel like super preppy thing, like having your initials on the pocket of a shirt. But I feel like if you do it by hand and have that, yeah, just individual handmade kind of feel to it by doing the embroidery by hand, it just pulls that super classic button up into a slightly more individual kind of creative direction. So I think that's one last thing that I forgot to say. Brooches. I mentioned cufflinks, also brooches to personalize things. And I talked about brooches I think like a year or two ago, but they haven't taken off as much as I wanted them to. So like let's have them really take off this year. People got really into like the normal pins, the like button pins, but I love a brooch. I started to see more of them, but not as much as I want to. So also using brooches to have a fun closure, like maybe changing the way a sweater closes, or a jacket, or like pinning a scarf, the most classic way to use a brooch. I am so into a vintage brooch. So that is all of my current trend predictions for this winter. Maybe I'll come out with a part 2 in like a month or something, or maybe a little longer, a month and a half-ish, we'll see. But let me know if you like this. Tell me what your trend predictions are, what you're really excited about. I am so excited for all of these things. I feel like this is also partially me just like realizing what my personal style is, which is just like classic pieces made a little bit more creative. And I'm so excited about it. So let me know what you think. If you want to see my day-to-day outfits, I put them over on my Instagram almost every day, like on my stories. And thank you so much for being here. If you like this, like it. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe so I can see you next time. But yeah, thanks so much. Bye.